Hey guys, Dib the Awesome here to give you yet another exciting Monster Legends guides. We're talking about monsters' moves, rune sets, partners, all of that jazz. Now today we are talking about Urcann, aka the Mythic Ukaduma of the game. Now what do I mean by Mythic Ukaduma? Well, he basically has things that are like Ukaduma's functionality because it is a thunder monster. Well, it is a thunder monster, so that's twinsies right there. Two, it kind of has the precision damage boost going on. However, it does not cleanse, sadly. I will say there are a few different things beyond the stats that kind of separate the two. And I'll kind of explain which is the better support in the end. And yeah, but this is I consider him Mythic Ukuduma. He gives like the basics of everything, while also doing just like a different thing. His stats are kind of all right. The same with Ukuduma's, neutral stats, really good across the board. None of his stats are really bad. It's it's neutral. And his trade is really, really nice too. I do love the trade. I think it's so good. But let's talk about him. So life, straight off the bat, 55,000 life. Pretty spicy for a mythic monster. Not like 60k, or it's not the big tanky life, but it's better than sitting at 40 or 50. 100% better. Uh, this is an alright life. It's not tanky. It's not squishy though. So it's in the middle. It's the middle boy. 5 to 6. You give it a five. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Not even 10. 1 to 10. It's like 5 to 6. But yeah, it's a pretty alright life. Rainbow Rune, its skills alright. Life, as in like power, green, speed, the stats will go up equally. They're really nice. Power 5,368. Not the highest power in the game. It's not really mainstream a damage dealer, but low key you should make him a damage dealer because after I go through everything that he actually has to offer, you're gonna want to run him as a damage dealer, and also just the things that are in the meta right now are just in the game. I recommend running damage on him. I do. Just like wait, hear me out at the end, and you'll understand why. So its powers are right. It's not the highest. It's not terrible though. And to be fair, I don't think there's ever a mythic monster that has a really bad set. I will say if it gets under 5,000, that's when it's bad. But for the most part, every mythic monster has usually 5,000 plus, and any damage dealer, like in terms of legendary status, would kill for those stats. Those stats are great. Uh, so this is all right. It's not the highest power of mythic monsters, but again, it doesn't have to be. It's just all right. Speed is 4,862. This monster is super duper ultra fast. It is a downside, however, I must inform you guys, he has no control immunity stuff. He lacks that. Best thing he can do is get your boys out of freeze, unless you have like a necromancer, right? Or, something that gives like immunities. But that's the best he can do. That's the extent of what he does because he doesn't offer any control immunity or just like specific immunities to like freeze or whatever. Yeah, he's just there to cleanse like area freeze. If you get area frozen, boom, he cleanses it. If you're fighting like a Thalassa, that doesn't help you too much because she'll turn your trait off. But hey, if he doesn't get trait disabled, if he gets a turn in, he can clean you boys, no problem. Yeah, that's pretty great. For speed stat too, again, if you are running him damage, this is hugely beneficial because that means a lot of other damage dealers in the game are naturally slow. Or like they're not extremely slow, but you have a really high speed. So this is pretty great. I like it. I like the speed stat. At rank 0, you get freeze immunity. You, sir, cannot be frozen and you are a thunder monster. That means you are an endangered, you are a danger to, not endangered, you're not in trouble. They are in trouble, my boys and gals. If you're fighting a Thalassa or like name like a legendary water monster, boom, dead. This thing will just spit at you and you are dead. Like, Easel, dead. Thalassa, dead. Like, that's great. It's nice. But if you have trait disable, obviously, the last I can gut over, he can keep the fight. She doesn't have to deal with his garbage. Like if he's not faster than Thalassa and he doesn't address Thalassa right away, Thalassa can shut him down with trait disable. But if she doesn't, she dies. So freeze immunity, I think it's really great because again, this is a thunder monster. It doesn't really have to worry about freeze from its own element too much. I don't even recall many freezers in the thunder category, but you don't care about water monsters. In fact, this thing spits on them. Like it's really nice. At rank 1, you get hardened. Is baby tough, so you get like a 25% chance not to get hit with ailments. This trait actually, as the days go by, it gets less and less significant. It's like having like nothing. It's not impressive. Like harden's alright, but it's like things land all the time anyway. It seems, and everything has true vision. It used to be good back in the day. Like if you didn't have like an immunity, Harden was or tough or bulwark, it was really nice. But we're getting more monsters nowadays with precision or monsters that can give true vision. It's getting less and less valuable as the day goes by. But in case of the event you're not dealing with those things, it is nice to have Harden in case of the event you might have gotten possessed or you might have gotten stunned. And it makes the uh, golden food better, which is his area cleanse. We'll get to that later, but that's very simple. It's not even that much of an explanation. In fact, if you're looking at the screen, you can obviously read what it does. It's like an area. It's just an area cleanse. It doesn't add anything else. But if you didn't get possessed, boom, it just makes it better. Like if you didn't get stunned, if you didn't get possessed, you can cleanse that. Perfect, great, fantastic. Rank 3 is where it's at. This is why this monster is really good. All right, listen to this, my boys and gals. Imagine a world where you never miss. That's what this monster is. I give you area cast precision. Everyone on your team no longer like misses basically. Basically, you get 50% accuracy increase. So that means you don't ever miss. Unless you're like drenched in blinds. Totally blind too, mind you, but still, gotta admit, precision at the beginning of the game, amazing. You just land all your skills. This also enhances the ability to land the effects of your skills. So if you had like double DOTs, double effect skills, they're more likely to land. So that's really fantastic. I think this is a game-breaking passive because it infinitely makes everyone else better on your team. It's like, hey boys, let's go be a study group. I'll teach you the ways of to actually hit things. And then they're like, okay, and they come back as like Super Saiyan mode, Ultra God Instinct, and they just snap their fingers and everything dies around them because they're not missing. They're accurate all the time. They get the AAA plus. It's a beautiful passive. Don't underrate this. This is amazing. Relics. Okay, so this is even better. Staff and banner, my boys. My boys, this man can hold a banner. Are you kidding me? He already has precision, and he gets a banner, so he can have Invar's banner. He can use Talika's banner to give everyone on your team more life, so they don't die from other mythics. Oh my god, this is amazing. There are so many things you can do with banner. Man, I wish it was double banner. I'd love to see this with double banner. It would be so good. But banner is really great. Staff is even better. That means you don't have to run the recharging banner. You can run Cane of Atlantis as a substitute, which is fantastic. Or, you can run Gakora's staff, which gives you like shielding when you get controlled. That can be helpful. Is he a really good mythic support mythic? I'd put him more so on the damage. It's better damage. I'll get into that. We're getting there. There's a reason why you want to run him damage. But yeah, Shine in the Abyss. This is a very heavy thunder damage skill. It does daze to one enemy. You should run the skill. Why should you run the skill? It's great against water monsters. It's fantastic against them. Even if you get cooldowns activated, you still have this available. It's spammable. Run them damage and you'll fry a lot of thunders. It's really annoying for them. Like if you're dealing with legendary waters, it's a lot. Specifically squishy ones, not Easel. Easel could probably stomach this, but he can't stomach Sea Jolt. He will not stomach this skill. I guarantee you, if you're running them damage, pretty good runes, he won't take it too well. Charged Wave is a spammable 30 damage special base skill. It's spammable. It's special damage. Run it. It's great. I highly recommend running this skill too. It's just great. Like it's spammable. Like if you're dealing with a lot of thunder-based monsters, this is really your only answer to those monsters. So it's nice. It's not heavy damage, but you can spam it, run them damage. Higher ranking monsters just do more damage, so it's fine. I'd say run this run charge wave. Really, just basic attack. The basic attacks are just must-haves. They're nice. Seed Jolt is an area thunder-based skill that shocks everybody on the enemy team. I think this is great against Cecil. I think you can have the right to run this whenever. You don't have to run it, but I would say it's situational. Run it against those new mythic. We just got a new mythic extra turn monster. Run it against those guys. Run it against the Nightingale. Run it against Aura, Ra. That monster is terrifying. Run it against those. It's a very situational, like, DOT, but it will be helpful later when the comps are running things that don't cleanse after you do it. But just so you know, this move is specifically to address those specific monsters. They can't do anything after they do their extra turn skills, unless they do, like, a extra turn cleanse, right? But they don't have those. So it's just specifically for those situations. It doesn't stop the first damage skill, but hopefully it doesn't murder you, right? So Z-Jolts is situational, but it can be good. Electron Flow applies Thunder Immunity and Stamina Regen to all allies. It's on a 1-turn cooldown. This is a really this is kind of one of the reasons why I don't think you should go full-on support, because this is really, yeah. Like, it's an S skill. I don't like it too much. This actually protects you against other Urcanns too, to be honest. Or any, like, we just got a spammable, or like we got a cooldowns protection, Thunder, like Dr. Watts, right? This is good against him too. But they do run special skills. I don't think Dr. Watts does, but this one specifically does. Also, yeah, it is in the C book. It is in C, yeah. But yeah, it's just a great water counter. I think this buff is so situational because all they have to do is just do special attacks then. Unless you're running like Ragnarok, like Remtar, because Remtar blocks out special damage. If you run this skill, you're also immune to thunder damage too. I just think this buff is too situational. Stamina regen is nice, but it depends on if is it going to be the branch or is it going to be the battery. That's a huge difference. It is on a 1-turn cooldown. Sadly, this does not cleanse. I wish it did, because if you're nanovirus, this does actually nothing. If you are going support build, you might as well run it as stamina regen. What can you argue with that? It's a nice thing. And the next thing, what is the next thing it does? Lightning Swing. Deals low thunder damage to one enemy, applies shock to one enemy, and daze to one enemy. Gives an extra turn to itself. Really, this enhances your cooldowns. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but it is an extra turn, so it slaps on an additional damage. I think this is an alright skill to run. I don't think it's a bad skill. Yeah, it's not a bad skill. I'd run it for the cooldown utility. Next skill, Electrifying Boost. This is a support skill, if you're running support Urcann. This applies triple damage to one enemy, or no, not one enemy. That would be crazy. One ally, and apply shock to them. Basically, if you give the person triple damage, they also get DOT'd. But we're in a meta right now where mythic monsters have, like, torture immunity. So if you use this on, like, Abysmus, or really just anything immune to shock, which is a really rare thing, they don't take the consequence, and they just get triple damage. It's such a vanilla buff. It's basically giving anyone hater, but for, like, one attack. Triple damage is a very valuable thing, and can pretty much wipe out teams. So it's pretty great. And keep in mind, you have precision. You're probably not going to miss your attacks. And you could probably even run the argument, too, is if you're running, like, a fast comp, you just slap this on, like, a fast monster, and they do a lot of damage. I think this is good for mythic monsters, because all you have to do is, boom, slap this on, like, a blast, run at full speed rate. You got triple damage, do an area skill. It probably kills a lot of things that are squishy in Team War. If there's no, like area, Megaton monster, right? You'll probably wipe the board. Pretty spicy thing. The only problem with it is, again, you are giving shocked, which actually does... It's kind of like Nanovirus for, like, extra turn monsters. It is actually really bothersome for those monsters, but if you don't care about the shocked, and shocked itself is like 5%, you're not going to really care about that. It's just the fact you can't do more extra turns. Once you have it, you can't do an extra turn skill. But I think it's fine, because you're not going to rely. You're just going to wipe the board at that point. So this is a great enhancement skill. I'm going to say this as an option. You don't have to run it on a damage set, But for a support, I'd run it. Why not? If you're gonna run them full speed, run it. You know, it's a game ender. You do triple damage. It would go great with the new magic monster we have. It'll wipe the board if they don't have anything to cover area. So I think it's just basically if if you're not running damage, this just makes you better. Like it's like you are running damage. It's crazy. So I think you should run it in those situations. If not, you don't have to. You know. Dance of Thunder. This applies precision and damage boost to everyone for 3 turns. This is the reason why it's kind of not like a Guduma. 1, it doesn't cleanse to begin with, and 2, it's on a 3-turn cooldown. That's crazy. Like it is such a huge cooldown, and like, when are you gonna ever use this again? Like if they can constantly remove your effects, oofda, oofda, my boys. It's basically just a damage boost too, like outright. And once you get it to 3, right? Because let's say you start the game off with that, you're just giving everyone damage boost. Really, it's kind of a waste of the skill timing, right? Because once you use it, you only get a damage boost if you get cleansed. You can't use it for another 3 turns. That's it's a pretty big deal. I don't like that. I will say for sure run this on the your support. I'm paraphrasing this support Urcann. This is just something you run in case your good stuff gets cleansed. That's specifically what the skill is for, is when you get cleansed. You can just put it up again. Hopefully they don't cool down to activate you or just remove it again. You really need these on. So I will say you run it. I would say you would run it like maybe as one of the optional skills for sure for the damage dealer set, because hey, maybe you want that and or need the extra damage to win. So I think this is a good skill to have on a damage dealer set. Why not? You get your precision back and you get damage boost. I think it's alright. I think it's actually must. I'll take that back. You should run a non-damage dealer set. It's really nice. And then the final skill is Golden Food. It removes all negative effects. You run this on a support set, and then you have the option to run it for damage if you want. Basically, just cleanse any bad things you got. Being the fact you do have Harden, you have the opportunity or chance to avoid, possessions or curse and then clean your team. That might come in clutch, but that's such a situational thing, and odds are they won't miss you anyway. So it's up to you whether you want to run it. This is kind of why I don't think you should go full speed or whatever. Because look at what he actually provides. Like, listen to this for a sec. What does he actually provide? He provides stamina regen, which may or may not be the good one. There are 2 kinds of stamina regen: branch and battery. Branch is the best thing. Battery sucks. Battery is terrible. Thunder immunity is so situational. Like it's basically there from mirror matchups, if anything. And even at then, they can just use charge wave on you because that's spammable. And then triple damage. That's a game ender. I think that's the best thing, but it only lasts for a turn. So if that gets cleansed, what can you really do? Like that's also a huge thing too. But like if it doesn't get cleansed, you're amazing, right? It's just amazing. It's like just like a straight up nuke. You nuke something, and then you can use Blast to reset the triple damage, and that can actually go into a few plays like Skill Mirror. So that's pretty good. I'd say at best that's it though. You just give him damage. I think that's the best thing about Urcann. He doesn't provide any like control immunities. He doesn't provide any torture, like any immunities to anything. It's just a damage buffer, like kinda. It's like that's the hugest thing about him. And then the cleanse doesn't really do any additional thing like heal, and sometimes that could actually matter in a fight, especially in this mythic meta. Yeah, I'd rather run him damage. Why would I run him damage? Well, one, we are also kind of in a meta right now where everyone's immune to torture, so to not have damage on your team is a huge issue. A huge issue. Because you're going to be beating on them all day. But then again, if you do run them full speed, that triple damage again kind of makes up for the fact you're not running damage. So it's however you want to do. But I would run them damage dealer. So this is my rune my rune set. My recommended build. I'd run them damage, give them 2 damage, or 2 speed and a damage, whatever you want. There's 2 ways to go about being a true damage dealer. And then run the basic attacks, which is the spammable 45 damage, the charge wave area skill. I'd run Sea Jolt in situations where it's effective against Isol. Like, this will kill Isol. It's so good against them, and you're probably going to go before him anyway. Keep in mind you are a really fast monster too, so you'll have more opportunities to do damage to most other monsters before the enemy moves with theirs. So that's pretty nice. And then I'd probably run the extra turn light swing, and the last skill, I think it's up to you. I think electrifying boost is like devastating. So if you can keep the buff without getting disrupted with your damage dealer Urcann, you win. If they have no way to avoid your area skills or anything like that, you will nuke them. It's fantastic. Especially again in this meta with torture immunity monsters where they can build tanky. You might want that. It might actually be interesting. Uh, Dance of Thunder is also a good alternative, or Golden Food. Golden Food's really situational for a damage dealer set. But basically, again, the last skill is totally up to you. But yeah, I'd run the first two skills, and then Sea Jolt for the Easel. Like I'd run that, and then final skill can be whatever. You could even do maybe 2 damage and like 2 support skills even. It's totally up to you at that point, but that's just me. That's how I'd run them. Partners real quick. I think this thing can be worked with pretty much anything in the game. It can do that. It's just got great universal support. It can cleanse, it can be a buffer. Like that's the main thing, is just a buffer and or cleanser. It doesn't give any like control immunity unlike other supports in the game. But it goes great with Blaz. I think he's fantastic with Blaz. Skill Mirror can combo with the triple damage. Giving Blaz and hit like this monster triple damage would be crazy. I think that's a strong combo right there. Blaz into Blaz Skill Mirror into triple damage, and you could do Don't Panic too. Is like like you can't probably apply it to the Urcann. But maybe if you had like another support, right, or something, the combo in between. Maybe you had like a cooldown deactivate on the monster that goes before Urcann, maybe. Like that's not Blash. And then boom, boom, combo, damage up. Perfect, beautiful, majestic creature that you are now. But yeah, I think this precision buff really sells the deal. Because there's a lot of things in this game that have like double effects, but consistently they do actually miss in fights. I'm looking at you, Ragnarok. Like with those bulwark traits, or there's hardened traits, kind of. I think Ragnarok's traits more than 25%. Also, I think I miss things more often than not against him than anything else. I miss more than bulwark monsters, like honestly. It's kind of nuts how great his passive is. But yeah, the precision, you just land all your goodies. What more could you really ask for? Now, I will say this. Yeah, no, that's never mind. I was gonna say like I'll say this, but like no, it's really great. Banner is also really I think the relics provide more support than his actual skills in terms of longevity or whatever. If anything, you should run him with bursty comps just to get the game done. Like that's the thing is his main deal is just getting the game done. That's kind of what he does. He sets you up with triple damage or a damage boost, and then go from there. In war, again, run him damage, and then you'll just fry, like the Thalassa, you'll fry the Easel. You really do just fry anything that's not Kothor. He destroys anything. Anything that's not... If it's a Sea War, he will destroy any, water monster. He will kill it. It's beautiful. I feel like we're going to see a lot of this monster, because it's just a great answer to Legendary. He'll kill, any... water legend, that's what he does. He's got natural good effect damage. You run him damage, and then you'll fry Easel, you'll fry. I'm saying Thalassa and Easel, but those are really the two things in terms of legendary monsters people use nowadays. I don't really see much of any other water monster, but those are the big ones. That's Easel and Thalassa, and it fries them. That's fantastic. Just to annihilate them outright is very beneficial for your team. Yeah, that's pretty much it about this monster. I hope you guys liked this review. Any final thoughts on him? Again, I'm excited for him. I'm going to pick him up. I might actually use Elementium on him, or my Amber. I just think area precision's amazing. That sounds really dumb. And I think it's nice for war. I think it's fantastic for war, because again, I don't miss my effects. I do a lot of damage to water monsters, and I'd like to see those dead as soon as possible. That's fantastic. So yeah, I'm Dib the Awesome, and I'll catch you guys later.